Okay, concerning the practical section for the use of Zotero in the referencing, the very first thing is to ensure that you have the software in your computer, and that the software is actually linked to your Microsoft Office application. So in order to get the application, it is free, and you don't need to make any payment. So you just simply head to your browser, and then you just type Zotero. Once you put Zotero, just put Zotero application, you just put the Zotero. The official website from which the software is can be obtained is this. So when you see this website with this Z logo, this is the icon, this is their logo. So this is the official site. So you just open the site, and then when you open the site, it takes you to this page from where you can click download. Now when you tap the download button, you are going to have either to install the to download the Zotero application. This is a 64-bit for Windows users who have 64-bit, or you install the Chrome connector. The both of them are really important, because when you are doing the research in the web, it is more easier to just do the adding of the referencing from the Chrome, from the web page itself. So you click on the download button, and then it is going to do the download of the application for you. The installation process is not quite difficult. I am just going to hit the download for it to download. It is not taking so many megabytes. You see, just 89.7 megabytes to have the setup file for the application. Then the connector is very important, because it helps you to add the article or the reference information from the source to the application directly with the browser. So if you are a user of, let's say, Microsoft Edge, you will need to add the connector in Microsoft Edge, which means that you need to use the Microsoft Edge browser to add the connector. If you are a user of Chrome, if you are more comfortable with the Chrome, you use the Chrome, and so on. So it just depends on your browser. Whichever browser you use, it should be the browser you use to open the page. So when you click on the add the Chrome connector, it is going to take you to the Google App Store. In that Google Web Store or the Google App Store, you are going to find the Zotero connector. You can see Zotero connector, and then at this particular level, you are going to see add to Chrome. Because mine is already added to the Chrome, it is instead asking me to remove from the Chrome. So when you see add to Chrome, when you hit the button, it is going to add it to the Chrome. When it has added it, this icon that you find here on this bar of the browser, it's for the extensions. So it adds in the Chrome as an extension, and if it doesn't appear in among the list, you could click on the extension icon. It is going to display to you the different extensions that are present in your Chrome. So you could pin it on this bar, or you could just allow it here, but I will recommend pinning it. So it's pinned. If I click now, it is going to unpin. So you see that it has disappeared from this bar. So I recommend pinning it on this bar for easy access. So that is how to add the extension, and that is how to download the application. So when the application is downloaded, you are going to have the application in your downloads, or depending on your default download storage location of the files, you are going to have the application. So this is the setup. So the installation process is not really complicated, and you just need to just do a few comps. You just need to double click, and then it's going to ask you whether you want to allow this application to make changes to your system, and you say yes. You should not be afraid that it is going to cause any harm. It is going to install the application without any issue. So you just double click, you open the setup, You just say yes, just read the instructions carefully, and then it is going to take you through the installation process. It's going to install the application in your system for you. So that is it. When you have the application present in your system, now, to by default, when you open the application for the first time, it adds it adds the adding into the Microsoft Office program. So when you open it for the first time and close it, it adds it into your Office program. So when you are going to open your Office, let you say you open your Office Word application, you are going to automatically see that a new tab has been added into your Office. A new tab has been added. That is the Zotero tab, from where you can be able now to pick the references that are in the Zotero application and add it into your document. So one of the first thing which is highly recommended is that when you have the Zotero application, it's very important to have the account. When you have the account, it's more better because your articles you have saved in the Zotero are going to be saved. They are going to be saved in your account, so it makes it easy for you to be able to manage those articles, those information when you maybe switch the device or when you change the device, so you can always have access to them. And then sometimes when some people are using the application, since the addition of the bibliography is different from the citations, they just add the citations and then not adding the bibliography immediately. It also becomes a bit challenging because if you lost the application, you may not be able to get your references. But when you have the account, it makes it more easier for you to manage everything in the Zotero. So when you open the Zotero account, this is how the interface looks like. Here I have some few references here. I will just Let me just create a new folder. So I want to create a new folder for collection of my information. When you click on this icon, it tells you new collection. You could organize the references within your Zotero application based on what you're working with. Like you could say I have a couple of folders here. I have maybe a folder for references that I use in my PCs for my internship report, assignments, and so on. So when you click on this new collection, you are going to have ask you to give the name to this collection. So maybe I could give a name, new references, or whatsoever name you want to assign. It is going to create a new collection. It's going to create for you like a folder so that you can be able to organize the references within Zotero without mixing everything up. So it makes it easy for you to be able to handle the things to handle everything within the Zotero application. So at least you should be able to maybe keep the references for your articles different. You should be able to keep the references for the articles for your maybe your dissertation different, that of your maybe your assignment, that of your thesis, and so on and so forth. So that is very important. Now, how to add the information or the article in the Zotero? When you have the Zotero plugin in the Chrome, it's more easier. But if that is not the case, you could still be able to do that with your application, with the Zotero application here, if you have the unique identifier of that particular source. So sources without unique identifiers may become challenging, and you may need to add the information into the Zotero manually. So it is highly recommended to be using a source. So if we say, for example, we are working on maybe, let us say, on maybe a particular study, and then let's say you are working on maybe syphilis, so you put maybe some keywords on syphilis. Maybe let's say you are working on an you are doing an epidemiological study on syphilis, so you put some keywords syphilis, let's say some keywords syphilis, maybe epidemiology, risk factors. Let's say these are keywords, and then you do the search, and then you get a couple of sources from where you could get information from. Let's just say that this is information, let us say this National Institute of Health, and then you find some interesting content from this particular source. You want to now add the reference to this source in your work. So the first thing is that whatsoever idea you pick from this source, you are referencing this particular article. You are not going to the references list to select the references you feel that are good for you, because sometimes when the student don't know, they come to the references list and they just copy the one they think it is appropriate. No, any information from this source has just one reference. It has just one reference. You can see the information about this source. It is there. This is the title. These are the names of the authors. You can see this is some unique identifiers, the PMC ID, and then a lot of things. So you see a lot of things are there. Here is the DOI, the pages, the volume, the issue, and so on. Everything is found here. So for you to collectively harness this information and generate the reference is time consuming. So that is why we are using the softwares for this particular process. Now, when you want to generate the reference, there is one thing. This is the Zotero application. This is the Zotero icon on the browser. So it looks like this when you have opened an article. At a particular moment, let me say that when you just open it, the application is still trying to read what is present. Let me just duplicate this particular page. So when this page opens, you look at the icon, you will see that it's going to change. Now you see that after some time it changes and it looks like more white. Yes, this is when the Zotero this Zotero connector has been able to, it has identified, yes, it has been able to read the information, it has captured the information about this particular source. So when you are adding the references into Zotero, you must ensure that the application is open in your system. If the Zotero application is not open, it is not going to be easy. The software already added it. Let me just remove it. So you make sure that the application is open in your system. So now how do you add the reference to the application? When you click on the Zotero adding, you are going to see it's going to ask you where do you want to save this reference to. So you have a couple of different locations within your Zotero application. So we are doing it in the new references folder. Then now for you to add the article, you could just click on this drop down, and then you click on done. So when you click on done, it is going to add the information to this article on in the Zotero application. So if you open the application, you are going to find it here. This is the article. So an update on global epidemiology of syphilis. So this is the type of the source is a journal. This is the title, the authors, the publication, this is the date, the volume, the issue. So you see the pages, everything, all the information is present in this section of the Zotero application. So I'm going to add one more source for the purpose of maybe a combined reference, maybe information coming from two sources. So that is how you add the article into the Zotero application. Now, when you are dealing with websites, it becomes a bit very challenging because it is not able to capture that information from the app, from the website you need, and you may have to go manually to look for the information. So whenever you add it and then it is a website, or whenever even when you add the reference of any source, just try to confirm from the application that the information that you actually need, everything has been added there appropriately. If not, you can do editings because this is the fields permit you to edit the information which is present. For example, you could actually change the date. If the date is not appropriate, you could change the date of the publication. When you click on the field, you could make some modifications. Like for website, when you have succeeded to get the information from the website itself, you have gone through it, you have got the information, and then you have added it to the Zotero, it is not bringing the proper information. you can come and then you edit the information in those fields to make it more appropriate. Yes, to make it more appropriate. So I want to add this second source from Science Direct. So I want to add it to the Zotero, still on the same folder. That is the new references. So I've added it into the Zotero application. So let us say that you have read through the source, you have read through the document, and you are able to find maybe you are writing, let us say the context, you are writing the context, the concept of syphilis, and you are defining what syphilis is all about. And you maybe say that maybe from the source you have found that you got ideas, and you are able to say that syphilis maybe is an infectious disease. Maybe you say that it is an infectious disease which is caused, let us say, which is caused by a bacterium known as maybe known as treponema pallidum. Treponema. Let us say, for example, you have something of this sort. You have something of this sort. Yes, you have obtained ideas from the software, and you have been able to construct a text from that particular source. This is the source of the information. You want to add the reference to this particular, the citation to this information. You are doing the citation at the end of the text. So you can find here the Zotero add tab in your office. So when you click on the Zotero tab, you now need to do add/edit a citation. So you are adding or editing a citation. So when you click on this icon, it is going to ask you first of all, if it is the first time you are adding the citation into this document, it's going to ask you which citation style are you doing. So for the purpose of this demo, we are going to use the APA 7th edition style referencing. And then we say okay. So it is going to be adding the citations in the APA format. That is the American Psychology 7th edition format of referencing. So this is how it appears. So all the different articles you could search if you know the name, the title. Like for example, if I start searching identification of key factors, if you know the name, I say identification of key factors, it is going to display for you those articles that have this text you are searching. Otherwise, you could go directly to the application itself and look for it to make it more easier by clicking on this drop down arrow, and then you choose the classic view. So when you choose the classic view, it is going to open it in the Zotero itself. So you can change from which folder you want to pick the information. And when you have selected the folder you want to pick the information from, I want to pick it say from this source. I want to take it from this article, this, an update on the epidemiology of syphilis and so on. This is the article. You say okay. It is going to add the citation on the Zotero. So you can see that added the citation that was by Kojima and Klosner 2018. So this is the citation to this particular article. I think that this reference I just added from this source was not really complete, so I need to add it again. I'm seeing that some of the information is missing. So I add the reference again in the application, because okay, I think that all the information is present now. Okay, so this is it. If to say that, for example, you are able to use two different sources to come up with the information, to come up with to construct the sentence, you will need to include those all different authors in the citation. For example, these two articles we have added into the Zotero. If those two articles help you to bring out the definition of what syphilis is all about, you have to include all of the two of them. And so how do you add references that involve multiple sources? So when you come to add/edit citation, you must go to the classic. You can select the two of them at this stage, but I may prefer that you doing it from the classic view is more better. So you choose you select the classic view, and then here what you say is that you are doing multiple sources. This is it. You are doing the referencing is the multiple sources. So when you click on multiple sources, it's going to ask you to add the sources to this window. When you add the sources to this field, then if you can add it. The one that's supposed to come first, you add it first. When you select the article, the reference, you click on this arrow. This helps you to add it to this source, to the field, and then I select the next one, I add it to the field. So these are the two of them. If I want to change the order, I could use these arrows. So if I want me this one to be first, I could move it up, it's going to be first, and so on. So I could organize the order of which citations are going to come out in the document. So when you are done adding all the sources, you say okay. When you say okay, it is going to generate for you the reference which is having the complete information. Now you can see, for example, this source like this, the name of the author is picking that is rather the name of the that is the name of the article. So you can see here under the name, no information is present. So that is why we say that sometimes you may have to go through the article itself to identify the name of the authors. You can see these are the names of the authors. You can be able to put them in the software manually by yourself. You could type them, you are putting the last name. Then in the Zotero application, is even given in an order. This is the last name, then the first name. When you are done with one auto, you can click on this icon to add this plus to add another information. But I'm pretty sure that it was not able to add it appropriately just because it did not read the source very well. Did not read the source very well. So maybe we'll try adding it again to see how it's going to look like this time. So we are adding this to the new references, and then we check in the Zotero application. Okay, not yet updated. Or one thing, if it is a bit challenging and you're able to find the unique identifier like the DOI number like this, you could just copy it. You copy the DOI number, and then you come to the source. In the source, you have to add it as an identifier. So this is it. So you click on add items. So in the add identifier field, you paste the DOI number, and then you hit enter on your keyboard. It is going to go through the web and it's going to look for that particular source. So you can see now that all the information that we require from this source has been added appropriately. You can see the name of the authors and everything is present as required. So one thing is, when you are using this referencing, you must have internet connection, because for it to be able to go to the web to look for information, to organize everything, it needs internet connection. So we can add the combined the reference from the combined sources again, and we are pretty sure that this time the referencing is going to be complete. Everything is going to be complete. So this is the first source, then we say the second source, we add the two of them, so we validate, and then it tells us that it is from this article and then this other article. So this is one of the limitations with the software. Normally the et als are always supposed to be in italics, but the application does not italize it. So at the end of your work, you could find and replace et als that are not italicized to be italicized within your work. So you use your office features to highlight the whole text, and in the home tab of your application, you could do it through the editing group by saying that you want to replace et al. You want to replace the et als which are not italicized to the et als, and then full stop. You put it in italic. To set this to italic, just use the shortcut key. It's more easier. Or you go to the more feature. So you could just use the shortcut key Control I. So you can see that the font here is italic. So it's going to ensure that all the et als in the document are going to be italicized. So you replace all. So this is going to okay, there's a spelling error here on this et al. So one thing is that with this, whenever you are going to update your referencing list, it is going to bring it back to, it's going to unitilize it. So you do it at the end, maybe when you want to print the document for submission, or you want to send out the work, so you could now do the italicization of all of these stuffs. So that is how you are supposed to approach it. Then now, to have the complete references in the references list. So considering that your cursor is already at your referencing list section, in the Zotero tab, you just click on add/edit the bibliography. And when you click on add/edit the bibliography, it is going to generate the complete referencing list for the references that you have added into your work from the Zotero. Unfortunately, some of the information here is not written appropriately, like the 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 uh, the journals are italicized, which is not supposed to be so. And then you see that the volumes are italicized, which are not supposed to be so, and they are not bolded. So you are supposed to italize them and bold them. You could be able to even to use AI to help you to format format the referencing in an appropriate manner. Maybe you submit these references into an AI, and you tell the AI to unitalize the volumes and then bold them. It is going to do that information, is going to do all of that stuff for you, and it is going to be easy. So you can now get the references and put it back in your work in an appropriate format. So whatsoever reference you are going to add, citation you are going to add to the work, it is going to add the complete reference. And then whenever you are going to add the citation, the reference is going to show up in the referencing list. If in any way you will have to remove any of the references from this source, you remove any of the references from the work. For example, if we take off this citation and we refresh the page, it is going to probably is likely going to remove. Normally here we should have the references taken off, but anyway, whatsoever, when you add your citations, it is going to just update the referencing list automatically. And the referencing list is always formatted in an alphabetical order, so you don't need to start arranging things in an alphabetical order as required. So every formatting is good. So I don't know whether at this moment there is anybody who have any question, any worry, or any doubt as concerning the process. Hello? Okay, please, is there anybody with any worry concerning the process?
Were you able to follow the different steps, or you took notes so that you can do it after? It was pretty clear. Not sure if they were following or doing the same, following the process at the same time, or just following the presentation for them to try after.
Okay, Madam Doc, I think I have the recording of the session, so I think that even if they did not catch up, they could be able to follow up from the recorded version. I think they'll be able to achieve that.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so for those who didn't succeed to follow the step or we intend to do it later, we will actually post the video of this recording on the YouTube channel of the Association Ongola Science Community. So you can follow at any moment on YouTube, you can follow the video and yeah, try to install Zotero and do the same practicals. And if there is question, don't hesitate to ask at any moment about it.
Okay, I think that one of the things I left out was adding a Zotero account or
Mhm.
creating the account, which is very important.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that I could just
Mhm.
demonstrate how to create an account and to add the account. So this is the application. Actually, I have an account already, so I may not have the future to permit me to create the account. But under the edit tab of the Zotero application, you have the settings. So in the settings section, you find the option to create an account. So we have the sync. When you are in the sync, you don't have an account yet. It is going to permit you to create an account. So you could see the create account button. You will create the account. And if your account is not added to the application, you are probably going to see add account. So you can see at this level, mine is asking me to unlink account because I have added the account. So when you go to the edit, the settings, then you come to the sign, you will see create account. You can provide the username, provide the password, and then your and all the other information. Then to add the account, you need to have all of those details, the username and the password, most importantly, to add the account of the Zotero in another device, or in cases whereby you have the login into the account. So I think that with this you can be able to manage your references appropriately and ensuring that you are not losing any of the information.
Yes, Doc.
Thank you, Doc, for the opportunity, and thank the presenter. Sorry, I lost his name. Thank you so much for the presentation. It was very enriching. So, please, I have a question. You made mention of at the end the references are going to be given in an alphabetic manner. But what I want to ask is, like, for example, if you have to publish an article, every journal has the author's guide and they have a form to cite the references. So I don't know if Zotero, when it gives those references in an alphabetic order, is also going to arrange the styling of the references. Like, is it going to do it in upper, or if the journal guide asks for another form, Zotero is going to do that at once also, or you have to start editing?
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Um, yes, actually, the Zotero give it format the references based on the selected referencing format which you have decided to use. If yes, for example, you say you want to maybe publish and the author's guide asks for a different format of the referencing, you could actually switch. If to say maybe you have the referencing in APA and then you need to change the formatting, it gives you the opportunity to be able to do all of those changes. Like this is the Zotero application here, and then everything here is in the document. You could be able to do all those changes from the Zotero tab, because in the Zotero tab you could not only add or edit the citation and the bibliography, but you could also do some modification to document preferences. So when you are in the document preferences section, which you can even still do from the application itself, you can actually change. So these are the different styles for the referencing. So maybe if to say we want to use instead IEE for referencing format, maybe this is a referencing format that is requested, and then you make the changes to the referencing format. And when you update it, it is going to update the referencing and the citation of the document to follow that particular formatting automatically. So if everything matches appropriately as requested, then it is good. But actually, the application have some lapses, as I indicated earlier. Like for example, in the case like you see, for example, the APA, it go for to italize the volume, and then which is not supposed to be done so. So normally in those cases, you have to make the changes to all of that using another means, because in the application, I think that if you were supposed to make modifications, you need to be somehow versed with desktop app development, because you have the ability to edit some code at some sections, which can be actually very challenging, and you are not familiar with. So you have to just look for another approach, as maybe I recommended. Maybe you could use a different approach to reformat the referencing, and then they have it in the format which it is requested. So please, I don't know whether your question have been answered.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's been answered. I would just appreciate, like you said, to send the presentation, because during your presentation, some of the steps were fast or doing two things at the same time, so I could not follow till the end. But I'll appreciate to have the video so that I can take time on a calm day and then follow up. Thank you.
Okay. Another question or concern? No. Lola, why were you crying? I saw your smiley crying there. Hmm? Did you want to ask a question, Lola? No. Okay. Then you had like almost 2 hours webinar. That was really interesting session. Thank you very much for all the information about plagiarism, referencing, the presentation. Our first presenter of today. Thank you for the practical session. And yeah, maybe if there is no question, we will end here with the webinar. And thank you all. And see you next time for the next webinar series the next month in March. Thank you again. And please, for the recording of the video, past webinar and